I remember the exact moment. I was 23, sitting in a cafe, and my card got declined. Not because I was broke, technically, but because I had no idea what was in my account.
Oh no, in front of people?
In front of people. The barista just looked at me, and I wanted to disappear into the floor.
Okay, that is genuinely painful. But honestly, I think a lot of people have had a moment exactly like that.
Exactly. And that moment was kind of a wake-up call for me, which is actually what we're talking about today. But first, hey everyone, welcome back to English Out Loud.
Hi, so glad you're here. Today's topic is something most of us quietly stress about but don't really talk about, and that is managing money when you're young.
Yeah, not in a boring finance textbook way. Just real talk about money habits, money feelings, and how to actually get a grip on your finances before they get a grip on you.
And we have some really honest stories to share today. Some of them are a little embarrassing.
Mostly mine.
Mostly yours, but that's what makes it useful.
So let's start from the beginning. Because I think the reason a lot of young people struggle with money is not that they don't earn enough. It's that nobody ever really taught them how to manage it.
Right, like school teaches you history and chemistry, but it does not teach you how to read a bank statement.
Not once. And then suddenly you're an adult. You have a salary, and you're just kind of guessing.
I was guessing for a very long time. My first year working, I felt like I had money, and then somehow at the end of every month I had nothing.
Where did it go?
That's the thing. I genuinely did not know. It wasn't one big purchase. It was just small things. Coffee here, dinner out, that one subscription I forgot to cancel.
Death by 1,000 small purchases.
Exactly. And I think that's a really common trap, especially when you're young and you feel like, okay, I'm earning now, I deserve to treat myself.
Which is true. You do deserve to treat yourself, but there's a difference between treating yourself and just spending without thinking.
So, when did things start to change for you?
For me, it was that cafe moment. That was my wake-up call. A wake-up call, by the way, is a moment or event that makes you suddenly realize something is seriously wrong and you need to change.
Like an alarm going off in your life.
Exactly. And after that, I sat down and actually looked at where my money was going for the first time.
Was that scary?
It was terrifying, but also kind of eye-opening. Because once I saw the numbers, I couldn't pretend I didn't know anymore.
I had a wake-up call moment too, but mine was a little different. I actually didn't overspend. I was the opposite. I was so scared of spending that I didn't enjoy anything.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was so worried about running out of money that I would feel guilty every time I spent anything, even things I actually needed.
That's the other side of the coin, isn't it? Some people spend too much, and some people are so anxious about money that it controls them in a different way.
Right, and I think both of those are examples of an unhealthy money mindset.
Let's slow down on that phrase. A money mindset is basically your overall attitude and beliefs about money, how you feel about earning it, spending it, saving it, and your mindset actually shapes your behavior a lot more than the actual numbers do.
Because two people can have the same salary and completely different financial lives, just based on how they think about money.
Totally. If you believe money is always going to run out, you'll either hoard it or panic spend. If you believe money is something you can learn to manage, you'll approach it differently.
So, how do you actually start building a healthier money mindset?
I think the first step is just getting honest with yourself. No judgment. Just open the app, look at the numbers, and say, okay, this is where I am.
And I'd add, try to separate money facts from money feelings. The feeling of shame or panic when you look at your account, that's not the truth about you as a person. That's just information.
That's a really good way to put it.
Because so many people avoid looking at their finances because it feels personal. Like, if I have no savings, that means I'm bad or irresponsible.
Which is not true. It just means you haven't learned some things yet.
Exactly. Okay, so once you've got that honest starting point, what's the next step?
For me, it was learning to live within my means. That phrase, to live within your means, means to spend only what you actually earn, not more, not depending on loans or credit cards to fill the gap.
Simple in theory.
Simple in theory, very hard in practice, especially when everything around you is designed to make you spend more.
Online shopping, food delivery, that clever little buy now, pay later button.
All of it. And social media doesn't help. When you see everyone online apparently living this amazing life, eating out every night, traveling every month, it's so easy to feel like you're missing out.
And then you spend money you don't have to keep up.
Exactly. So, one of the most important things I did was cut back on things that were draining my account without giving me anything real in return.
To cut back on something means to reduce how much you're spending on it. Not eliminate, just reduce. Less coffee from the cafe, not zero coffee ever.
Right. Because if you try to cut everything at once, you feel deprived and you snap back.
It's like a strict diet. If you try to eat nothing but salad, you last about 3 days and then you eat an entire pizza.
I have done exactly that. Both the diet version and the money version.
So the key is to cut back on the things that don't really matter to you and protect the things that do.
Which brings us back to values. What do you actually care about? And is your money reflecting that?
For me, the thing I cut back on was clothes. I used to buy something new almost every week, not because I needed it, but because it felt good in the moment.
The dopamine hit of a new purchase.
Totally. And once I noticed that, I started asking myself before every purchase, do I actually want this, or do I just want the feeling of buying something new?
That's such a powerful question. Because often the honest answer is, I just want the feeling.
And that feeling lasts about 20 minutes.
And then you have another thing in your room that you don't really need.
Exactly. So I started redirecting that energy. Instead of buying new clothes, I'd go for a walk or call a friend or do something that didn't cost anything.
That's a good reframe. Because often when we're spending impulsively, it's not really about the thing. It's about something else. Stress, boredom, loneliness.
And it's important to notice that without judging yourself. Just, oh, interesting, I'm reaching for my phone to shop right now. I wonder what's actually going on.
That kind of awareness is actually the foundation of a good money mindset.
Okay, so we've talked about mindset and about living within your means. What's the next practical thing that actually helped you?
Getting a grip on my monthly numbers. To get a grip on something means to finally understand and take control of it. Like when a situation has been chaotic and you finally start to manage it properly.
So for money, that means knowing your actual income and your actual fixed expenses.
Right. Not roughly, actually. How much comes in? How much goes to rent, utilities, transport, all the non-negotiables.
And then what's left?
Exactly. Once you know what's left, you can make real decisions about it. Before that, you're just hoping for the best.
I remember the first time I did this properly. I was really surprised. Because I had this vague feeling I was always short of money, but when I actually did the numbers, there was more room than I thought.
Because the vague, anxious feeling about money is often worse than the reality.
Right. The uncertainty is the scary part.
And once you have the numbers in front of you, you can breathe a little. You know what you're working with.
It also becomes easier to make decisions. Like, instead of saying, I can't afford that, you can say, I'm choosing to spend that money on something else right now.
That shift in language is huge. I can't afford it feels helpless. I'm choosing to prioritize something else feels empowered.
Totally. Even if the outcome is the same, the way you frame it matters.
All right, let's talk about saving for a minute. Because I think a lot of young people feel like saving is only possible when you earn more. Like, when I make more money, then I'll start saving.
But that day often never comes, does it?
Almost never. Because as income goes up, expenses tend to go up too. The lifestyle inflates with the salary.
Lifestyle inflation, that's real.
So, the advice that actually worked for me was to treat savings like a bill. Not an optional thing you do if you have money left over. A fixed amount that leaves your account on payday before you spend anything else.
Pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first, even if it's a small amount. It's not about the number, it's about the habit.
Because the habit teaches you that you can live on a little less. And once you see that savings number growing, even slowly, it changes how you feel.
It gives you this sense of calm. Like, if something goes wrong, I have a little buffer. I'm not one bad week away from panic.
That feeling of security is actually worth more than whatever you might have spent that money on.
100%. Okay, let's bring in some personal stories. Annie, was there a moment when you really felt like you had turned a corner with money?
Yes, it was about 2 years after I started working. I had been gradually cutting back on impulse spending, doing my monthly check-ins, saving a small amount every month. And then my laptop broke.
Oh no.
And I could just fix it. I didn't have to panic, I didn't have to call my parents, I didn't have to use a credit card. I just had the money.
That feeling must have been incredible.
It was quietly wonderful, not exciting in a big way, just calm, like, okay, I handled it. That was my moment of feeling like an adult with money.
I love that. Because it's not a dramatic success story, it's just a problem happened and you were prepared.
Right, no drama, just quiet readiness.
For me, my turning point moment was when I realized I had actually started to enjoy budgeting, which is something I never expected.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to think budgeting meant restriction, like you're putting yourself in a financial cage. But once I reframed it as, this is me deciding what I actually want to do with my money, it became interesting.
It's design, not deprivation.
Exactly. You're designing your financial life. What do you want more of? What do you want less of? Where do you want to end up?
And you get to choose.
You get to choose, which is actually a privilege. A lot of people don't feel like they have a choice with money, but often there is more agency than we think.
I think we should also say it's not always easy, and sometimes life throws things at you that genuinely set you back. And that's okay.
Absolutely. Managing money well doesn't mean nothing ever goes wrong. It means you build enough resilience to handle the things that do go wrong.
And you keep learning. Every mistake is information.
All right, let's do a quick recap of the phrases we used today, because these are all really useful for talking about money and personal finance in English.
Okay, the first one, a wake-up call. A wake-up call is an event or moment that makes you suddenly realize you need to change something. For example, losing my job was a wake-up call that made me start saving seriously.
Next, money mindset. Your money mindset is your overall attitude and set of beliefs about money. A healthy money mindset means approaching money with awareness, not fear or avoidance.
Then, to live within your means. To live within your means is to spend only what you earn. For example, once I started living within my means, I felt much less stressed at the end of the month.
To cut back on. To cut back on something means to reduce how much you spend on it. For example, I cut back on eating out and started cooking at home more.
And finally, to get a grip on. To get a grip on something means to take control of it after it's been chaotic or unclear. For example, it took me a year to finally get a grip on my spending habits.
Great phrases. All of them useful in everyday conversation, not just when you're talking about money.
You could use wake-up call for any kind of life change. You could use get a grip on for work, relationships, health.
Totally flexible. All right, that's it for today. We hope this conversation gave you at least one useful thought to take away.
And if money is something you've been avoiding thinking about, maybe this is your gentle nudge to sit down with your numbers this week.
No shame, no judgment, just you and the information.
And if you found this episode helpful, please like it, subscribe to English Out Loud, and share it with someone who might need to hear it.
We will see you in the next one. Take care of your English and take care of yourself.
Bye for now.